everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features one of the best passing offenses in the NFL. The Steelers are top 10 in pass yards, and they're going up against the Bucs, who will need to be ready to cover a lot of space. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. First down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught at the 25. A big gain there on the first play of the game. 56 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Bucs a first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
Eight yards to go here on second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So on 4th down, here's the Buccaneer place kicker, Roberto Aguayo now. From the right hash, this from 53. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
And now out come the Steelers. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
They'll set up a throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off, it's J.J. Wilcox. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle.
And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point? Whatever you're going to pick up, they either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a...
They got his man complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They go play action here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And on the ground they go with a running back. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got time. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The Steelers call here on the Aussie, Australian-born Jordan Berry now to punt this one away. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle to Evans. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They come out here in the eye.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a pickup of 14 there. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Second down following the run. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Detroit! No, check. Now that's covered. Tighten up. Here we go now. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go. Turn up.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit! All right, now, look. Shoot.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Cooper's got it. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Finding time. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9.
All right, now, look at 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sharif Floyd in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw now on first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him on to the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. One receiver left, three to the right. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And his throw is incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That is caught at the 7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they're operating in the red zone. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, a guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They run again with Ware. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
On 3rd down, Winston. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. Roberto Aguayo now for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Now back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Sammy Coates has it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Yeah, he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They run it here. Where? And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive.
And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Jameis to throw it. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, the hit sure looks like a simple route, but I think the issue with it is a lot of time when you're making that play, you're actually working your way back inside towards traffic, where the big guys are coming from inside out, whether it's defensive ends or linebackers. And a lot of the time, instead of securing the pass, you're out.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And the Steelers are going to have a first down.
No. Check, Patriot. All right, here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Looking to throw. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them. You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Jameis on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. 3rd and short yardage, Winston. And that is incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On play action, Winston. And that'll be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Here we go.
And now here's a carry heading left. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
And to give this time to the tailback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Oh, it's a wobbler here. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So 2nd and 10 here. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball takes the play off. You know, the running back, because he's eager to get the pass.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the deep.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
All right, here we go. Detroit! Detroit! Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Over. No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much running room. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Now they got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. They'll look to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
On the ground, this is Ware. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. And now they're in the hurry-up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So on 4th down, out trots the... Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And they're going to get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Back to throw here. Looking for the end zone. Oh, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they held them to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at them. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Winston. Oh, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickel and dime down the field.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, Hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And contact defensively. And that might make things 5 yards easier. So here now is the kicker, Nick Folk. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Steelers, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.